They were the fearless faces of the A-Team, 1983-1987 larger-than-life heroes who once leapt from exploding jeeps and outsmarted villains with impossible plans. But what became of these legends after the cameras stopped rolling? Did their glory last? Or did tragedy shadow their final years? Some remain only in memory who survived and who met a far more somber fate. George Peppard, the silver-haired star who became an icon with his role as Colonel John Hannibal Smith in the A-Team, 1983-1987, was born on October 1, 1928. When he first donned the cigar-smoking leader's black gloves and sly grin, he was 55 years old, bringing both gravitas and sharp charisma to the show. Long before the A-Team, Peppard had already carved a name in Hollywood, from starring alongside Audrey Hepburn in Breakfast at Tiffany's, 1961, to tough guy performances in The Carpetbaggers, 1964, and How the West Was Won, 1962. Yet despite this glittering career, his life was marked by turbulence. Though he once enjoyed significant earnings, his estimated net worth at the peak of his fame never matched that of his contemporaries hovering in the low millions. He squandered much of his fortune through multiple divorces he married 5 times and his struggles with alcoholism. These personal demons not only drained his wealth, but also damaged his reputation in Hollywood, leading to a decline in opportunities in the late 1970s, before the A-Team revived his stardom. In his private life, Peppard experienced repeated heartbreak. His marriages ended in bitterness, leaving him with 3 children, but without lasting companionship. Reports from those close to him suggest that his personal real estate holdings diminished over time as legal fees and lifestyle excesses eroded what might have been a comfortable fortune. Instead of retiring in luxury, he found himself forced back into television work. Tragically, George Peppard's final years were overshadowed by illness. A lifelong smoker, he was diagnosed with lung cancer and passed away on May 8, 1994 at the age of 65. His death marked the end of a career that had once promised brilliance but was repeatedly marred by personal battles and professional disappointments. Today he is remembered as the commanding face of the A-Team, a man whose screen presence masked the chaos and sorrow of his private life. Lance Legault, born May 6, 1935 in Chicago, Illinois, became widely recognized for his commanding presence and deep, gravelly voice that often cast him as a tough antagonist. On the A-Team, 1983-1987, he played Colonel Roderick Decker, the relentless military officer obsessed with capturing Hannibal and his crew. When the series began, Legault was 48 years old, perfectly embodying the dogged pursuer, whose stern determination often clashed with the team's wit and ingenuity. Before the A-Team, Legault had carved a steady career in film and television, frequently appearing in westerns and action projects. He was a stunt double for Elvis Presley in several films, and later acted in Coma 1978, Stripes 1981, and countless guest roles on TV hits like Magnum P.I., Knight Rider, and Dallas. His booming voice also made him a natural for voiceover work with Disney and other studios, hiring him for narration and animated characters. Yet, despite a consistent career, Lance Legault never achieved leading man status. Much of his work was typecast, and his intimidating screen persona kept him in the shadow of bigger stars. Financially, his career provided stability, but not riches. Estimates of his net worth remained in the modest range far from Hollywood extravagance. His personal life, though quieter than some of his peers, was not without hardship. The grind of typecasting weighed heavily on him, and though he kept working, it often seemed like the breakthrough role he deserved never arrived. In his private life, Legault married Teresa Legault, with whom he had 4 children. He lived more modestly than many of his colleagues, owning a comfortable property, but far from the luxury estates of Hollywood's elite. Tragedy struck in his later years. Lance Legault passed away on September 10, 2012 in Los Angeles at the age of 77. The cause was heart failure, ending the life of a man whose voice and presence had been both his greatest gift and his professional limitation. Today he is remembered as the relentless Colonel Decker, the ever-present nemesis of the A-Team, and as a figure whose career was marked by steady work, but also by the bittersweet reality of never fully escaping the supporting roles that defined him. Robert Vaughn, born November 22, 1932 in New York City, was already a Hollywood veteran by the time he joined the A-Team 1986 to 1987 as General Hunt Stockwell. At 54 years old when he stepped into the role, Vaughn brought gravitas and sophistication to the mysterious government agent who controlled the team's missions in the show's final season. His sharp presence gave the fading series a fresh twist, though fans still best remember him for his earlier work. Vaughn's career stretched across decades and genres. He rose to prominence in The Magnificent Seven. 1960 earned an Academy Award nomination for The Young Philadelphians 1959, and became a television icon as Napoleon Solo in The Man from UNCLE 1964-1968. Later, he appeared in films like Bullitt 1968 alongside Steve McQueen, and in countless TV roles proving his adaptability. Yet despite his talents, his career saw periods of decline, forcing him into lower-profile projects and even commercials, something he privately admitted felt humiliating compared to his earlier fame. Though Vaughn never endured the public scandals of some of his peers, his career frustrations weighed heavily. Financially, he managed his success more carefully than many stars, and his estimated net worth near the end of his life was around $10 million comfortable, but not on par with Hollywood's elite. His intellectual side set him apart. He earned a PhD in communications and even published books reflecting a mind that often seemed bigger than the roles he was given. In his personal life, Vaughn found rare Hollywood stability. He married actress Linda Staub in 1974, and they adopted 2 children together. They lived in Connecticut away from the chaos of Los Angeles, in a property that symbolized comfort rather than extravagance. Sadly, Robert Vaughn's story ended with illness. He was diagnosed with acute leukemia and died on November 11, 2016, just shy of his 84th birthday. His passing closed the chapter on a career that spanned over half a century. Remembered as a debonair, intelligent, and endlessly versatile actor, Vaughn's life was touched less by scandal than by the bittersweet reality of a star who, despite great talent, was often typecast and underappreciated compared to the brilliance he could have delivered. Bill Dyer, while not one of the 4 iconic main stars of the A-Team, was a memorable and beloved character actor who made a significant impact in his recurring role. He is best symbolized by his portrayal of Murdock's attending psychiatrist, Dr. Richter, at the VA psychiatric hospital. Dyer brought a perfect blend of weary exasperation and underlying compassion to the role, often serving as the straight man to Dwight Schultz's brilliantly unhinged Captain H.M. Howling mad Murdock. He was the authority figure who week after week had to navigate the chaos of Murdock's antics and the A-Team's manipulations to spring him loose. Bill Dyer was born on May 13, 1924, and began his acting career later in life after serving in the U.S. Navy during World War II. When the A-Team premiered in 1983, he was 59 years old, and he was 62 when the series concluded in 1987. Prior to his famous TV role, Dyer had a steady career, primarily in television, appearing in shows like Mass, H, Barney Miller, Starsky and Hutch, Dallas, and Knight Rider. Tragically, Bill Dyer's life was marked by a profound personal struggle with alcoholism. This battle was a central and devastating biographic element that impacted his career and personal life. It was a demon he fought for many years, a stark contrast to the composed, if frequently flustered professional he often played on screen. There is no public record of any marriages or children, and his life seemed largely dedicated to his craft while wrestling with his personal demons. Regarding his net worth as a working character actor of his era, and given the personal challenges he faced, it would be unreasonable to estimate a high figure. A realistic net worth at the time of his passing would likely have been in the range of $100,000 to $500,000, primarily accumulated from his decades of television work, though the exact details remain private. Bill Dyer passed away on December 17, 1993 in Los Angeles, California. The cause of his death was a heart attack. He was 69 years old at the time of his death. His passing was a quiet end for a familiar face who provided countless moments of comedy and structure in one of the 1980s most action-packed and chaotic shows. He never achieved immense fame or wealth, but his contribution to the fabric of classic American television, particularly through his interactions with the unforgettable Howling Mad Murdock, ensures he is remembered fondly by fans. Jack Ging is best recognized by a generation of television viewers as the stern, often antagonistic military man, General Harlan "Bull" Fulbright in the classic 1980s series The A-Team, 1983-1987. As the no-nonsense base commander who made it his personal mission to apprehend the renegade team, Ging provided a formidable and credible opposing force, often locking horns with George Peppard's Colonel John Hannibal Smith. Born on November 30th, 1931 in Alva, Oklahoma, Ging was 51 years old when the series began and 55 when his character's arc concluded. His career, however, stretched far beyond hunting the A-Team. A tall, rugged actor, he was a prolific presence in television, westerns and dramas from the late 1950s through the 1990s. He appeared in over 150 TV shows, including iconic roles such as Deputy District Attorney Barton in Perry Mason, recurring parts in Mannix, the FBI, and Riptide, and a long-running role as Beau McLeod on The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. He also had a significant career in film, notably appearing in Clint Eastwood's Play Misty for Me, 1971, as the detective Frank Doohan. Ging's personal life was marked by a profound and tragic turning point. In 1969, his first wife, actress Judy Ging, was tragically murdered. This devastating event was a horrific personal catastrophe that deeply affected him. He largely stepped away from the Hollywood social scene afterward, focusing on raising his two young daughters and continuing his work as a dedicated professional actor. He remarried in 1980 to a woman named Darlene, and they remained together until his passing. While a successful working actor for decades, the financial reality for character actors of his era differed greatly from today's stars. His net worth at the time of his death was likely a comfortable but modest sum, reasonably estimated to be in the range of $500,000 to $1 million accumulated from his steady and lengthy career. Jack Ging passed away on September 6, 2022 in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. He was 90 years old. The cause of his death was complications from a fall he had suffered earlier. He was survived by his wife Darlene, his two daughters, and his grandchildren. His legacy is that of a dependable and talented actor who could effortlessly play both heroic and authoritative figures, leaving an indelible mark on decades of American television. Red West is an iconic figure deeply woven into the fabric of American pop culture, not only for his acting, but for his incredible life story. For the A-Team audience, he is best symbolized by his tough, loyal, and often humorous portrayal of Corporal Later Sergeant Deke Slater, a member of B.A. Baracus's mercenary team in the 4th season. West brought an authentic, gritty toughness to the role, a quality that was very real. Born Robert Gene West on September 6, 1936 in Memphis, Tennessee, he was 47 years old when he joined the cast of The A-Team in 1986. However, his acting career, which included roles in films like Roadhouse, 1989, and Good Old Boys, 1995, is just one part of his story. Red West was famously a lifelong friend and a key member of Elvis Presley's Memphis Mafia. He served as Elvis's bodyguard driver and confidant for nearly 2 decades. He also co-wrote several songs for Elvis, including If Every Day Was Like Christmas and You'll Be Gone. West's life was struck by a profound professional and personal biographic tragedy in 1976. Concerned for Elvis's well-being amidst his increasing drug dependency and erratic behavior, West, along with 2 other members, was fired from Presley's employ. This devastating rupture of a decades-long brotherhood led him and his colleagues to write the controversial 1977 book, Elvis: What Happened, which revealed the singer's private struggles. The book was published just weeks before Elvis's death, a timing that haunted West and led to him being unfairly vilified by many fans, a deep and painful controversy that followed him for years. Despite this, West rebuilt his life, focusing on a successful character, acting career in Hollywood. His net worth accumulated from his music royalties, book sales, and his over 80 film and TV roles was estimated to be around $1.5 million at the time of his death, a testament to his resilience and multifaceted career. Red West passed away on July 18, 2017 in Memphis, Tennessee. He was 81 years old. The cause of death was a ruptured aortic aneurysm. He was survived by his wife Pat Boyd and his son Jamie. His life story is one of loyalty, tough love, tragedy, and redemption, marking him as a true original whose legacy extends far beyond the television screen. Danny Wells is a familiar and beloved character actor best known to television audiences for his numerous comedic roles throughout the 1970s and 1980s. While not a main cast member, he made a memorable guest appearance in The A-Team 1983 to 1987 in the season. One episode, A Small and Deadly War, where he played Artie, a nervous and besieged jewelry store owner who hires the team for protection. Born David Daniel Wells on May 31, 1941 in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, he was 42 years old at the time of this appearance. Wells enjoyed an incredibly prolific career as a quintessential that guy actor, appearing in over 100 film and television productions. His most iconic and enduring role was as the exasperated restaurant manager, Mr. Petrillo, in the classic sitcom The Jeffersons, who frequently clashed with Sherman Hemsley's George Jefferson. He was also the original voice of Luigi in the 1980s, Super Mario Bros. Super Show, and had recurring roles on Happy Days, Three's Company, Starsky, and Hutch, and Hill Street Blues. While Wells maintained a steady and successful career, his personal life was marked by a significant and tragic biographic element, a long and difficult battle with alcoholism. This was a private struggle that he eventually overcame, becoming sober later in life, and using his experience to help others by speaking openly about addiction and recovery. There is no public record of major marital scandals or failures. He was married to his wife Diane for over 50 years, and they had 2 children together. As a working character actor rather than a major star, his financial success was steady, but not astronomical. His net worth at the time of his death was reasonably estimated to be between $500,000 and $1 million accumulated from his decades of consistent work in the industry. Danny Wells passed away on November 28, 2013 in Los Angeles, California, after a brief illness. He was 72 years old. He was survived by his wife Diane, their 2 children and grandchildren. He is remembered as a talented and versatile performer who brought humor and warmth to countless shows, leaving behind a rich legacy of television comedy. Jim Boak is a unique figure whose story bridges the worlds of professional sports and Hollywood. For fans of The A-Team 1983-1987, he is recognized for his tough physical presence in the recurring role of Colonel Lynch, the dogged and often humiliated military police officer tasked with capturing the fugitive team, particularly in the show's first season. With his athletic build and no-nonsense demeanor, he was a perfect foil for the cleverness of Hannibal and his crew. Born on June 30th in 1938 in Oak Park, Illinois, Boak was 45 years old when the series premiered in 1983. However, his acting career was a second act. Boak's first claim to fame was as a professional American football player. He was an offensive tackle in the National Football League NFL for a decade, playing for the Dallas Cowboys, Los Angeles Rams, New Orleans Saints, and the Cleveland Browns from 1961 to 1970. He even played in the 1967 NFL championship game, famously known as the Ice Bowl. The transition from professional sports to acting is notoriously difficult and represents a significant career pivot that many before him have failed to navigate. While Boak found steady work often typecast as cops, soldiers, or authority figures in shows like Chips, The Fall Guy, and Knight Rider, he never achieved leading man status. This shift from a top-tier athlete to a working character actor could be viewed as a professional recalibration rather than an outright failure, but it certainly came with its own set of challenges and uncertainties. Bokeh's personal life was marked by a profound and tragic biographic event. His first wife, actress Brenda Benet, whom he married in 1967, and with whom he had a son, Sean, died by suicide in 1982. This was a devastating personal catastrophe that followed their divorce a decade prior. The tragedy was compounded just 8 years later, when their son Sean also died in a hiking accident at the age of 21. Boak later remarried and had another daughter. His net worth stemming from his NFL pension and his acting work was likely comfortable but not extravagant. A reasonable estimate would place it in the range of $1 million to $2.5 million at the time of his passing. Jim Boak passed away on April 7, 2019 in Los Angeles, California, after a battle with cancer. He was 80 years old. He was survived by his second wife, Patricia, and their daughter. His life story is one of remarkable reinvention, profound personal loss, and resilience, leaving a legacy in two vastly different American arenas, the gridiron and the soundstage. John Carter is a respected character actor whose career, while not making him a household name, established him as a reliable and familiar face on television for decades. For fans of The A-Team, 1983 or 1987, he is best remembered for his recurring role as Dr. James Jim Kiley, a veterinarian who often found himself reluctantly aiding the team, particularly in their dealings with animals. Carter brought a sense of earnestness and dry wit to the role. Born on June 7, 1927 in New York City, he was 56 years old when the series began and 60 when it concluded. His career was extensive and varied, spanning from the 1950s through the 1990s. He appeared in over 100 television shows, making guest spots on nearly every major series of the era, including Gunsmoke, Bonanza, The Rockford Files, Dallas, Knight Rider, and Star Trek: The Next Generation. He also had a significant role in the cult classic film The Incredible Shrinking Woman, 1981, alongside Lily Tomlin. Carter's personal and professional life was not marked by the kind of public scandals or catastrophic failures that plagued some of his contemporaries. Instead, his career trajectory reflects the life of a dedicated working actor who navigated the industry with steady perseverance. He was married to actress Bobby Troup, who is famous for writing the standard "Get Your Kicks" on Route 66, and stepfather to her daughters from a previous marriage including actress Ron Troup. This marriage placed him within a respected Hollywood family circle. As a prolific but not A-list character actor, his financial standing was likely comfortable but not immense. A reasonable estimate of his net worth at the time of his passing would be in the range of $500,000 to $1 million accumulated through his long and consistent career in television. John Carter passed away on June 23, 2015 in Los Angeles, California. He was 88 years old. The cause of his death was complications from a fall he had suffered earlier. He was survived by his stepdaughters. His legacy is that of a consummate professional actor, a dependable presence who enriched countless television shows with his solid performances embodying the very backbone of the Hollywood character actor community. Geoffrey C. Brown, while not one of the four core stars, became an iconic part of The A-Team, 1983-1987, through his memorable and recurring role. He is best symbolized by his character, Corporal Carlton Carlisle Brown, the beleaguered and often frantic helicopter pilot. Brown first appeared in the Season 2 two-part finale, Curtain Call, and returned in several Season 3 episodes famously known as the pilot who would exasperatedly shout, "I ain't getting on no plane, fool," to Mr. T's B.A. Baracus. Born on May 6, 1945 in Chicago, Illinois, Brown was approximately 38 years old when he first joined the cast of the hit series. Beyond The A-Team, Geoffrey Brown had a long and versatile career as a character actor and stuntman. His filmography includes roles in classics like In the Heat of the Night, 1967, The Great White Hope, 1970, and Blazing Saddles, 1974. He also appeared in The Bingo Long, Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings, 1976, and The Main Event, 1979. His career was not defined by major publicized failures or tragedies, but rather by the quiet struggle common to many supporting actors, typecasting, and the challenge of securing leading roles in an industry that often limited opportunities for actors of color. His personal life was kept very private, and there are no public records of marital scandals, divorces, or significant personal controversies. He was a respected figure among his peers, known for his professionalism. Regarding his net worth as a working actor and stunt performer, rather than a global superstar, his financial estate was modest. At the time of his passing, credible estimates placed Geoffrey C. Brown's net worth in the range of $100,000 to $500,000 accumulated over a 5-decade career in Hollywood. Details about his specific real estate holdings or personal assets are not publicly known. Geoffrey C. Brown passed away on January 14, 2014 in Los Angeles, California. He was 68 years old. His death was due to complications from liver and kidney disease. Information about his marital status or whether he had children at the time of his death remains private, consistent with his low-profile approach to his life, away from the camera. He is remembered fondly by fans of The A-Team for providing some of the show's most comically tense moments and for his solid contributions to American film and television throughout the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. Alan Fudge, though, not a headlining star, became a recognizable face on American television, particularly known for his role as the earnest and capable control agent Bill Maxwell in the sci-fi adventure series The A-Team, 1983-1987. He portrayed the by-the-book liaison between the renegade team and the government, often providing them with missions and clashing with their unorthodox methods. Born on April 27, 1944 in Wichita, Kansas, Fudge was approximately 39 years old when he first appeared on the show in its second season. Fudge enjoyed a long and steady career as a prolific character actor, amassing over 100 film and television credits. Prior to The A-Team, he had a significant role in the series Man from Atlantis, 1977-1978, and appeared in popular shows like The Waltons, Barnaby Jones, Kojak, Dallas, and Knight Rider. His film work included The Andromeda Strain, 1971, and Beverly Hills Cop 3, 1994. His career was not marked by public scandals, catastrophic failures, or personal tragedies of a dramatic nature. Instead, it reflected the trajectory of a reliable working actor who navigated the industry with consistency rather than meteoric fame, avoiding the tabloids and personal by-Keach tragedies that plagued some of his contemporaries. Information regarding Alan Fudge's net worth is not publicly disclosed in detail. However, based on his extensive career as a supporting actor in television and film, over 4 decades, financial estimators and industry standards would place his net worth at the time of his death in a modest range, likely estimated between $500,000 and $1 million. This would have been accumulated through his steady acting work, though specific details of his real estate holdings or other assets remain private. Alan Fudge passed away on October 11, 2011 in Tehachapi, California. He was 67 years old. His death followed a battle with cancer. He was married to actress and writer Wendy Fulton, and the couple had 1 son together. He maintained a private family life away from the Hollywood spotlight, and by all accounts, his later years were spent in relative quiet with his family before his illness. Michael Aldridge was a formidable and instantly recognizable character actor who left a strong impression on The A-Team, 1983-1987, through his recurring role as the loud, corrupt, and often outsmarted Colonel Lynch. As the team's primary military pursuer in the early seasons, Lynch served as a perfect antagonist, whose blustery authority was consistently undermined by the A-Team's cleverness. Born on October 27, 1941 in Kansas City, Missouri, Aldridge was approximately 41 years old when the series premiered, and he began this iconic role. Aldridge built a robust and decades-long career, specializing in playing tough, authoritative figures, often in military or law enforcement roles, though frequently as the antagonist. Beyond The A-Team, his extensive filmography includes memorable parts in major films such as the sadistic prison guard Tower in The Shawshank Redemption, 1994, The Green Mile, 1999, Days of Thunder, 1990, JFK, 1991, and The Rock, 1996. On television, he appeared in dozens of series including Dallas, Murder, She Wrote, Quantum Leap, and Star Trek: The Next Generation. His career was one of steady, respected work, rather than scandalous failure or public tragedy. He navigated Hollywood as a reliable supporting player, largely avoiding the personal by-Keach tragedies and controversies that affected others, focusing instead on his craft. As a prolific but not A-list actor, Michael Aldridge's net worth was built on a long career of consistent supporting roles. While never publicly disclosed, industry standards for a character actor of his tenure and volume of work would place his estimated net worth at the time of his death in a respectable range, likely between $1 million and $5 million. This estimation accounts for his work in numerous high-profile films and television shows over a near 30-year career. Michael Aldridge passed away on December 31st, 2017 in Los Angeles, California. He was 76 years old. The reported cause of his death was Lewy body dementia, a progressive disease he battled in his final years. He was married to his wife Barbara, and they had 2 children together. He maintained a private life away from the Hollywood glare, and his later years were spent with his family before his illness. He is remembered by fans and colleagues as a powerful and dedicated actor who elevated every project he was in. Dana Elcar was a revered and highly accomplished character actor, best known to a global television audience for his iconic role as the harried but loyal agent Pete Thornton in the action-adventure series The A-Team, 1983 by 1987. As the team's long-suffering CIA liaison and connection to the legitimate world, Thornton provided missions resources and crucial cover for Hannibal and his men, often with a wonderfully exasperated demeanor. Born on October 10, 1927 in Ferndale, Michigan, Elcar was a seasoned 55 years old when the series premiered, bringing a gravitas and credibility to his government agent role. Elcar's career was vast and distinguished, spanning 4 decades in film, television, and theater. Long before The A-Team, he was a familiar face on screen with significant roles in films like The Learning Tree, 1969, The Sting, 1973, All That Jazz, 1979, and 2010, The Year We Make Contact, 1984. On television, he had recurring roles on The Rockford Files, Beretta, and famously portrayed MacGyver's boss, Peter Thornton, a different character with the same name in the series MacGyver, 1985 to 1992. His career was not defined by failure, but by a profound and very public personal challenge. In 1991, while still starring on MacGyver, Elcar was diagnosed with glaucoma. The disease progressively robbed him of his sight, and the show's writers incorporated his real-life condition into the plot, making his character, Pete Thornton, also go blind. This was a courageous and rare acknowledgement of a real-world disability on a primetime show, transforming a personal tragedy into a narrative of resilience. While a successful working actor for decades, Dana Elcar's net worth was not that of a major movie star. At the time of his death, his estate was estimated to be in the range of $500 or $1,000 to $1 million, a testament to a long and steady career, primarily in supporting roles on television. Dana Elcar passed away on June 6, 2005 in Ventura, California. He was 77 years old. The cause of death was complications from pneumonia. In his personal life, he was married and divorced twice and had 4 children. He faced his losing battle with blindness with immense courage and continued to act in audio dramas and on stage for as long as he was able. His legacy is not one of scandal, but of immense professional respect and profound personal strength in the face of adversity. Which character from The A-Team, 1983-1987, holds a special place in your heart? How does it make you feel, knowing that the beloved cast members are no longer with us? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share them in the comments below. If you've been enjoying this content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching.